Janine is in Abilene, Texas. Hi, Janine. How are you?
Hey, I am so glad to hear your voice, my friend. And Rachel, gosh, you guys are phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
It's amazing to hear your ads and all the stuff that you offer. Been watching you and listening to you for a few years. I'm in a kind of a sad sack situation. I can say, yippee, I'm debt free. I'm totally debt free, but I'm in a situation where I'm Farmer Janine from Abilene, but I got no money. And I'm 61 years old, and I'm getting ready to sell out. I'm dealing with a toxic situation after my father's death, who was my farm partner.
Mm-hmm.
And, our tractor got sold off for parts. So my heart's not in it here anymore. And what I make from this place, which looks like around, $400,000, I'm going to put into the next place I go to. And I think for about half of that, maybe I'll find someone who has that love in their heart that needs to move on somewhere else. And I can find some place that I can still be the farmer, still make those grasses and meadows and the love that God gave us, and walk forward from there. But I'm kind of I'm overwhelmed. I mean, this is like a 20-some-odd-year move. It's part industrial, part just personal, and I'm going through my house. I've done a lot of the sad things I've had to do.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I got from my father's life was a nasty note from my mother with a broken hammer and a bow tied around it. Mm-hmm. And I'm still grateful for that hammer.
Mm-hmm. So what is it we can best help you with today, honey?
Well, what I want to do, and I've been watching recently Financial Peace cash flow planning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have no doubt everything's paid for. Mm-hmm. I have an old truck, but it works like a charm. I'll take good care of it. Mm-hmm. And everything I have here is paid for. So my thing is, how do I best protect my assets and make that work for me walking forward? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find, as much as I love my church here, that's probably the only thing that I'll miss right now, mm-hmm. is that I just want to walk forward and into a new community. I've already kind of figured out the direction I want to go. Mm-hmm. It was a really odd move to say I have to move away from toxic into mm-hmm. something better. Mm-hmm. And I figure about half of that is probably what I'm going to need to make a new start. And then that other half has to go into the rest of my life.
Let me tell you what I'm hearing. Okay.
Yeah.
An amazing amount of the roots of your life are all being pulled up at once.
Oh yeah.
And the loss of your dad.
And I'll say we'll rent a place for a while.
The loss of the dream that was you were going to be on this farm until.
Yeah, the heart of it.
The loss of what should have been with family and isn't because they aren't. Yep. And there's just a whole lot of pain in your voice, honey. And that doesn't make you a bad person. That just means that's what's happened.
Yep.
And that just means you're human. And so, I think what's going to be really important is for you to move slowly in your future moves, and to give yourself some time to heal, because you're pulling this up by the roots.
Yep.
And then you're going to move it over here and replant it. And we got to make sure it takes hold before we start going crazy over here. So I don't want you to make a bunch of big investment decisions that are permanent. I want you to move slow and give yourself some room to cry. Because if I were in your shoes and you've lost your dad, the dream of the farm, everything that the farm represented, the connectivity to your church, the connectivity to the community, the toxic family members that shouldn't have been but are, they're not filling their role properly. And so you're going to have to go over here and set some new relationships. And as Dr. John Deloney talks about, the way you overcome trauma is grief. The way you overcome trauma is community. And you need a lot of room to grieve before you start making a bunch of investment decisions. You're planning with a brain that's foggy right now. And that doesn't mean you're inept. It doesn't mean you're not capable. It means right now you are hurting a lot. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, you can, I mean, yeah, I think everyone listening right now can hear that in her voice, and there's an urgency too, Janine. So I think that the advice, obviously, to slow down. Slow down is going to be really wise, because we do find people that are in these big transition periods that come from tragedy can make really poor financial decisions. Again, not because you're unintelligent, but because you're literally just making these on the go with a foggy brain. So slowing down, and then finding, okay, what is my dream? You said farming is something you love. So to have a goal maybe in 24 months, in 12 months, to slowly
I'm
purchase
okay
it.
if you don't buy a farm and you don't do any investing for a year and a half, and you just move to the new community and just spend some time weeping. Spend some time building new friendships and new community at your new church. Spend some time getting to know the dirt in the area before you buy dirt. Spend some time. Slow down a little bit. Give yourself a little wiggle room here, to where then when you're telling the story, it doesn't go in circles. And that means you know the fog is lifted. But we all tell stories in circles when we're freaked. And we all have been there, honey. We all know how you feel. So be praying for you.